Meanwhile, lawmakers are getting closer to passing a bill that would spend nearly $600 million in public money to upgrade American Family Field.
And the bill now goes to the Senate, where they will vote on it in November. Both houses must agree on the same version before the plan goes to Democratic Governor Tony Evers for his signature. NBC 15's Anderly Penwell joining us now to break down what this means for the Brew Crew staying in Wisconsin long term.
Well, Mark and Maria, the Brewers say they will contribute $100 million to repairs and extend their lease at the stadium through 2050 in exchange for public money. That would keep the Brewers in the MLB's smallest market for another 27 years. Brewers say American Family Field's glass outfield doors, seats, and concourses should be replaced. The team also says parking lots, seats, and concourses should be replaced, and that luxury suites and video scoreboards need upgrades. Team officials have hinted the Brewers might leave Milwaukee if they don't get public assistance for repairs.
So the Brewers are stepping up with an additional $100 million under our plan compared to the governor's plan that was zero. We've also gone and negotiated with the city and the county. They've been good partners throughout the process. That's led us to the bipartisan agreement that you have before us today.
Assembly Speaker Robin Vos warns lawmakers if the Brewers don't get public assistance, they will leave Milwaukee, putting a huge dent in state income and sales tax revenue. American Family Field opened in 2001 as Miller Park, replacing the aging county stadium. Construction cost about $392 million and was funded largely through a 0.1% sales tax imposed in Milwaukee County and 4 other surrounding counties. For NBC 15 Sports, I'm Anderly Penwell.